Hello, everyone. Welcome in. My name is Joan Kaler, and you're probably familiar with my old podcast, which was EFT Tapping Stories, but now I have expanded. Now you're joining me on Energy Experts. I will have people on that are experts in the human energy system, whether it be EFT tapping or the chakras or the biofield or the energy of our home
hmm
or our world. So if you need help with your human energy system and you'd like to get unstuck, please contact me. However, my guest today, I'm so excited, is Bill, is it Swingle? I want to
It
say that.
is. Yes.
Bill Swingle, who is an expert in feng shui. Now, if
Mm.
you all don't know what feng shui is, oh my goodness, are you in for a treat?
Mm.
Bill is going to explain what it is, how the energy of our home is affected, how what we want in life, our goals, our hopes and dreams are affected by the energy of our home.
Mm.
So I'm going to read you a quick bio, everyone, and then I'm going to introduce Bill. So Bill Swingle became a practitioner and master teacher of interior alignment and international feng shui and space clearing school more than 20 years ago. I mean, he is an expert. Energy work has become his passion, and he has been studying feng shui, space clearing, earth energy, and energy practices ever since.
Mhm.
A natural intuitive, he works with his clients to tap into their own inner guidance, not EFT tapping, another tapping, tap
Yes.
into their own inner guidance so they can see how their environments can empower them to achieve their dreams.
Mm.
As a soul coaching practitioner, he helps clients listen to the messages of their soul to guide them in understanding their own energy. He has spoken at multiple mind, body, and spirit conferences on feng shui, space clearing, and ceremony, and has shared his services on the corporate level and corporate environment. Bill offers home and business consultations as well as online and in person courses on feng shui, space clearing, and self empowerment.
Mm.
For more information, visit his website, which I will have listed on this podcast, on YouTube, and all the information on wherever you listen to podcasts, billschwingle.com. So it
Mm.
is my honor to welcome in Bill. Hi,
Mm.
Bill. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Joan. It's an honor to be here and on your kind of inaugural new podcast. I'm really honored to be a part of that. So thank you for including me. Great
Oh,
to be here.
Bill does something really fun. So you all need to like him on Facebook
Yes, please.
and you will get the energy of the day.
Mhm.
He will pull a card from Denise Lynn's. Is it a soul her soul coaching deck or which deck is it?
So what I do is I take whatever deck is resonating with me at the time. So right now I'm using the Sacred Forest Oracle deck, which is very nature focused, and that is Denise Lynn's one of her decks. I've also used the Soul Coaching. I've used the Time Travelers. I've used the Sacred Destiny. There's so many decks that I like to use, and it just varies. And so what I try to do, and the way that I do this every day, is I really put the question out there to spirit to ask, what is the energy for today? And I pull the card, and the message that comes is something that really establishes what opportunity we have in that day to take advantage of that energy, to really connect with that energy, to leverage that energy. And actually, it started a while ago. It's just kind of an experiment. I think I've been doing it for a few years now. It started as an experiment where I thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting? if we as people started to think about our days as energetically um, charged, right? And so the great thing about Oracle cards, for those who may not be familiar with them, is that Oracle cards give us that opportunity to listen to the messages of our soul in a way that takes us outside of our day-to-day world of maybe busyness or activities or responsibilities and allows us to just connect on a deeper level with what that card, what that energy might mean for us. So what I started doing is saying, hey, let's see how this goes. And so many people have responded in positive ways to say how much that energy has helped them. Just that card, that message, that connection that they have. And so it's something that everyone can use, and it's just an opportunity for you to take a look at the card and see what resonates. And actually, today's card, I'll pull it here. Let's see if we can get this to show. So this is today's card. And so you'll see this on my Facebook page. And this is fire, spirit, and energy. And so what I always ask people to do when they are looking at an oracle card is to look at what first they're drawn to. It could be a color, it could be a word, it could be a shape, or the trees, maybe it's the woman here, whatever that is, and then take a moment to see, hey, what does that energy mean to me? What does that image mean to me? Right? So it's a great way for you to listen, right? To allow yourself, and if you're someone who thinks, you know what, maybe I don't believe in those things. Well, what I would ask you to do is suspend your disbelief for a moment and start working from a place of metaphor in your head. What associations do you make with the different images, the colors and things? What are the feelings you associate with it? And that's enough, right? Just to connect with, on some level, what that card is resonating, what energy for you specifically. So in my page, I will put a description of the meaning that's in the card book. And then what I've also started doing is adding empowering actions that you can take based on that card. So what are the things that you can do? What can you actively do to take advantage of that energy? And so one example, so for instance, with this card is really about, right, kind of bringing that great energy and that vitality and that life force into your space and your energy. But for you, I would ask that you imagine yourself and kind of that most authentic, vibrant self that you have, right? Just take a moment to think and to imagine and to allow that image to come to you, how you are presenting yourself as your most authentic, most vital, most vibrant person. Pay attention to your body, your shoulders, how you're holding your head, how you're holding your spine, how you're walking, right? As you imagine this. Because what you can do whenever you're feeling out of power or you're feeling less than vibrant, you can take that physical aspect and incorporate it. Change how you're standing, change how you're sitting, change the way that you are moving through the day. And that helps to activate that sense of vibrancy, that sense of, yes, this is who I am when I'm feeling vibrant and alive and full of life force. So that's just one example or one way that you can use those cards.
Immediately when I see that card, I see the fire coming up from her palms. And
Mm-hmm.
I think, okay, as an energy healer, whether I'm doing distance Reiki, I'm Reiki 2 practitioner,
Mm-hmm.
or whether I'm clearing chakras, whether I'm clearing the biofield, whether I'm doing EFT tapping,
Mm-hmm.
all the energy in my hands is going out to, and I send love and light
Mm-hmm.
to the world, is going out to the world or to the person that I'm working with. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what
I
really
love that.
struck me about that card.
That's beautiful. And the other thing I love about that is that that is very specific to you, right? You look at the card, someone else who's looking at the card might see something else, and
Mm-hmm.
that's perfect for them, right? So it's a great way to connect with really what works for you. So yeah, so I have been working with energy for quite some time, enjoying it very much, and it started so long ago when I was growing up. I had the opportunity to live in multiple places. I was not only did I move to different homes over the course, like every few years we would move, but also my parents, my mother lived here in the Midwest and my father lived out east. And so I had the chance to move from one space to the next every year. Like in the summer, I'd go see my dad for a few months. And what was interesting about that is just the energy that you notice the difference that you feel when you're in different spaces and different places. So it really gave me that opportunity to um, connect with that. And I also realized that I had this, I'll say need, I'm not sure it's that strong, but every several months in my own bedroom, I'd be like, I need to shift something. Something is off. Something needs to align differently. So I would rearrange my room, right? And I didn't learn until years later how tied that is to feng shui. So, for those unfamiliar with feng shui is an ancient practice. Feng shui translates into wind and water. And what it really focuses on is the flow of energy in your home and how that flow can be worked to support you. So, the energy or chi, it's a life force energy that exists in all things as well as in our spaces. It's an energy that allows us to build on different aspects of our lives in our home. It allows us to connect with a deeper sense of the elements in our home. It allows us to really have a better grasp of how we create more balance in our homes. And so in feng shui, right, it's about understanding how you balance those elements, which is another kind of energy, which is also tied to nature and how you can bring in nature into your home and how you can really direct that energy to flow in best support of what you want out of your life. So, and this, the concept of feng shui was new to me, like in, I guess it was high schoolish, well, 95, right around there. There was a book that came out that many of you may know by Denise Lin called Sacred Space. And it was a book that talked about things that resonated so deeply with me. She talked about the world around us and it not being this stagnant kind of dead space. It is everything is alive, right? Nature is an extension of kind of life, and it's something that we all are connected to. And we have this opportunity to tap into that life force in a way that builds a deeper understanding and resonance with nature and helps us to be more balanced. And so in that book, she not only talks about that, but she talks about feng shui and the power that it has to really influence our lives and our homes. So that book kind of got it all started. And years later, I had the opportunity, after I'd done some studying on feng shui and studying on various different kind of aspects of alternative ways of kind of connecting with spirit, had the opportunity to train with her. And at the same time, I had someone else who had reached out to me who I'd been talking to because they were also offering a feng shui class. And just before I was about to say yes to this other person, I received a postcard from Denise saying, "Hey, I know you're interested in this based on our previous conversations. I'm in the States. I have a course that I'm offering. Are you interested?" And I leapt at the opportunity. So I had the amazing opportunity to train with Denise in feng shui and in space clearing. And the fascinating thing for me is that space clearing was really, it wasn't something I had a full grasp of. Um, but once I took that course, I found that that is where my passion lied, right? Space clearing is, well, feng shui is directing the energy in different places, right? And shifting some of that energy as it relates to what's in your home and the energy that that creates. Space clearing is about a direct adjustment, shift, change in the energy in your home. It's a way to bless a home, to bring in spirit in whatever form that is for you, and to change the energy of a space when it is most needed for you, right? That can be, say, after there's been an illness in the space, after there's been a big change in your life, you've gotten a new job, you've gotten married, you've had a kid, whatever that might be, whatever that big milestone might be. Um, or it is just an opportunity to follow the cycles of nature so that every spring, for instance, you might have a space clearing and change the energy and shift how the energy feels in your home. So space clearing became another passion for me. So I've done a lot of clearings and feng shui work for people, whether it's in their homes. I've done it for corporate organizations. I've done it for churches. So I've done it for a lot of different types of spaces, and all very kind of fascinating and interesting. So I'm going on for a while here, so I don't want to shake up all of this, but Joan, any questions on it?
Oh my God, it is just so exciting because I first met Luann Sibick, who was my feng shui instructor, and then
Mhm.
I can remember coming out to Sacramento,
Mhm.
California, when Denise had, and where initially I met you, and how exciting that was to meet her in person, like
Mhm.
the grand dame of alignment. I was, oh, good doc. I was so excited. She,
Mhm.
so shout out to Denise. I mean, she is
1000%.
such a loving, beautiful soul.
Mhm.
Just so amazing to work and be trained from her. And then as I learned from Lou Ann, for instance, I am so grateful that we're moving in to the fire horse because
Mm.
I'm so done.
Yes. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. I know that, this year moving into, so for those who may not be aware, right, we're in a wood snake year, and this year has been all about shedding, right? Think of a snake kind of getting rid of its skin and just releasing those things and preparing us for this big high energy fire horse year, right? This is a year of independence, of action, of transformation. And it's one that we want to be able to tap into, right? And so you can work within your home to prepare yourself for this new year that's coming up on the 17th of February. It's right around the corner.
Oh, yes, please. Only one, two, three, four, five. Only 11. I'm counting. I
Yes.
have a special place in my home that I have. Well, I have a lot of horses. I'll be putting one inside and two outside in my garden. And then I have a horse that's sitting on top of a table with two, I want to say, not real candles that you burn, because
Oh,
there's a TV above them, but
hmm
then two candles that I can light on the bottom. So I'm putting energy on the horse, welcoming
hmm
the horse in.
Lovely.
I can't possibly, please, dear snake, I can't possibly shed one more skin.
So, and in terms of that shedding, one of the big things about feng shui is clutter clearing, right? So that's a great way to shed, right? So use feng shui in so many different ways and prepare you for this next year. And so what are some things you can do, right, to prepare for this next year? Well, I think first what you want to do is understand, hey, what is the energy of my home now, right? Try to get a sense for that. And there's one of the things that Denise always says is that if it feels good to you, it's good feng shui. So if you're trying to understand kind of how the energy of your space is, start there. Start by when you walk in, how does it feel? When you walk into each of the rooms, how does it feel to you? Because that will help you, right? That'll help you understand, oh yeah, this room makes me feel good, right? It makes me smile as I look around at the pictures, I look around the objects, or it feels like there's a lot of natural light. What are the things that really help you to feel good? And if there are things that don't make you feel good, if you walk into a space and you don't have that feeling of kind of upliftment or lifting your energy, then what I would suggest you do is you look around the space and see what is the first thing as you walk into that space that you see. Often those very first things that we see, whether it's walking into the front door or in through each room, it sets the tone for the energy of that space. So if you are looking at something and it is something that there was a time long ago you thought, this is beautiful. This is something I really love. This is something that reminds me of a time when I was with friends and family and we were going on a trip and whatever that might be. But today, that kind of connection to that may be different, right? You may then have a connection instead to a relationship that no longer is in your life for whatever reason. And it may reinforce something that isn't positive for you anymore, right? So it could be something like that. It could be a gift that that's been given to you that you put out because not because you liked it, but because the person who gave it to you might come over someday and you want to make sure that they feel respected in some way. But if it doesn't feel good to you, then I would suggest shifting that. There's also, if you look at a space and you look at the color of the walls, right? Color is such a powerful influencer in feng shui, right? Because color is a vibrancy, it's a frequency.
So it's so funny that you're talking about this right now because I
Mhm.
do a lot of traveling.
Mhm.
And they'll, when I'm booking a hotel, I will look at the color scheme in that
Mhm.
room.
Mhm.
And then if somebody doesn't know feng shui and the wall is red or orange, or
Mhm.
the sheets or the bedspread is a hot color, I'll go, No, I'm not booking it because I'll never have a restful sleep.
Right, right.
Fire energy in there.
Hmm.
So,
Yes.
yeah,
And,
I'm sorry for
and
interrupting.
oh no, no, it's great. Because you're right, right? The everything around us has some kind of vibration or frequency and connection to the elements, right? So colors, like the bright reds and oranges, they often are tied to the element of fire, which in some spaces can be perfect because it's activating, right? It's something that's really helping you to kind of get motivated and move forward. But if you want a soothing space, you might go more toward the blues, right? Or the more soothing colors, to allow yourself to just be supported by that energy as you're trying to find sacredness in a space or do yoga or whatever it is that helps you kind of get to that calm state. Um, so as you're looking around you, look at the first thing that you're connected to in a space, just take a moment to try to understand, well, what does this really mean to me? And if it doesn't mean something positive, consider shifting that. So that's another thing you can do. So as you're also walking around the room, one thing that I do, especially as I prepare to space clear, is I pay attention to my breath. Is it easy to breathe? Do you have a good flow of breath when you're in a space? Is one of the things that when you have energy in a space that is denser or stuck, right, it makes it more difficult to kind of take your breath in. So you can use that as another indicator to say, hey, can I breathe in this space? Is it easy for me to do that? One of the things that I found with space clearing is that once you've done a clearing and you've shifted the energy and you brought in the blessings and etc. You will notice that not only is it crisper, right, in the space, they come brighter to you, the lines are more clear, but also you can breathe easier. So so as you're thinking about the energy of your space, right, you can kind of get that feel. Does it feel good to you? Great, fantastic. And what is the first thing that you see in a space? And then, how is it to breathe in the space, right? So just some ways that you can start to identify, hey, what is the energy like in my space?
Well, one of the things I like to do, people will often contact me because they have problems with hoarding. And
Mm,
I love, if something, I love to donate or
mm-hmm,
throw out. If
mm-hmm.
I haven't used something other than a holiday decoration, if I
Yes.
haven't used it in 6 months, it's donated. It's out of here.
That's perfect, right? Ah.
Tell folks, well, you're going to have to make one of three decisions, and we're just going to start. Then I think if I'm doing it through Zoom or if they're describing it to me, I think of the map Bagua,
Mm-hmm,
the 6 corners, and I go, okay, just pick a wall first,
mm-hmm.
and then pick either the corner or the middle of the wall or the other corner because you're
Hmm.
only going to start at one place.
Yes.
Don't feel overwhelmed by thinking you're going to clear all this out in
Mm-hmm.
one day, especially
Right.
if there's a lot of stuff in there.
For
You're just
sure.
going to start with one area at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to either donate it or throw it out or keep it. Those are your
Mm-hmm.
three things.
Yep.
And
Mm.
then I will help you do this as we continue to talk. And the look of relief on everybody's face that they don't have to do the whole room in one day or one
Mm-hmm.
weekend. So, no, we're breaking this down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love space clearing. It's so
Oh,
much fun. I'll pick something
absolutely.
and I'll ask my boyfriend, "What is this? Have you used it? Does it serve a function? Well, then it's out of here."
Hmm. Yes, no, that's great. And that is such good guidance. And I really like the idea of starting small, right? Because even if it's a drawer, right? Even that can make a difference. I mean, Denise has amazing stories about the impact of just shifting small things, And, I think that as people put as part of the practice of their daily lives, just looking for that clutter, because clutter blocks the energy, right? Clutter keeps it from flowing. All the better for sure. Um, so, um, I also wanted to talk a little bit about, we talked about preparing for the Fire Horse year, right? And I think that one of the things that you can really do is, step into your own authentic self, right? So the year of the Fire Horse is going to I think, demanded of you, right? I don't think you're going to have much of a choice because it's going to just, the energy is going to be so strong. It's going to be like, okay, you got rid of all that stuff. So this is who you are. Now step into yourself, right? Be that empowered person, that authentic self, right? And I think there are a few things that you can do in your home to prepare for this energy, this kind of strong flow of energy. And I would actually start with there are a lot of different ways to approach this. Three ways that I think you can start this is one, look at the center of your home. The center of your home is considered the balance, right? The balancing point in your home, right? If you think about just kind of uh, the Bagua map, right, which you talked about, right? So for those who aren't familiar, the Bagua map is a tool that's used. It's basically a nine grid tic-tac-toe board, if you will, which that's a term Doreen Kors often uses, who I love, uh, Dorina. But it's a way to break out your home and your space into kind of a grid format. And so as you do that, each of those different blocks within that grid represent a different aspect of your life. And the center is all about balance. And that is a place where I think that we want to, especially as we move into this year, we look at the center of our home and see what is there. Make sure there's no clutter. Make sure that the space in there is something that when you're in it, you feel grounded, right? You want to be able to have that kind of connection to the earth. The element of the earth is the kind of the element that supports that space. And so one thing that you can do is create an altar in that space that represents your authentic self, represents your connection to the earth. Allow yourself, right, to have that grounding point in your home. So um, that's one thing that you can do. The other thing to do is you think about kind of the Bagua map, right? So for those who'd like to use one, right? Think about the entryway to your home, right? And so that doorway is going to open in one of three spots in the Bagua map. One is going to be self-knowledge and spirituality, and that's the space where it's really about understanding who you are and wanting to grow and learn and connect with your own beliefs. Then there's careers, right? Which is, or your life journey, right? Could be your life path. So wherever that path is taking you. And then the other is helpful people and this idea of travel, right? So though it'll open in one of those three areas. And so after you focus on that center, I would suggest that you focus on that self-knowledge and spirituality. Because again, this is going to be a year that's going to require you to have a clear sense of who you are, what you believe, what's your kind of understanding of kind of where even you want to go? How do you want to grow? Right? Because it's going to be fast. So keep your eye on the prize. So if you focus in that area, I would suggest that you create a space that's going to reinforce kind of your sense of self, right? So maybe if you define yourself as someone who is adventurous and loves to go out and, be with lots of people, and you love to be in nature, and you love to just be on the go all the time, allow that space to reinforce that, whether you have pictures of places you've been, places you want to be. Maybe there are books around there that kind of excite you about and inspire you to continue to be that kind of active person. And maybe there are specific books like self-help books that are there for you to help you get a deeper kind of understanding of who you are. So have that space, dedicate that to kind of your authentic self. And you may start by understanding and kind of writing down, hey, what are my values? Who am I? What aspects of myself am I most that they ground me the most in who I am. So it could be that you are someone, it's all about the family. It could be you are someone who focuses on abundance as kind of a core value for you. An abundance, and that could be an abundance of love, an abundance of money, an abundance of activity. That's how you define it. But define kind of what those values are and use that as a basis for saying, okay, this is who I am. These are the values that I want to live by. So you can even say, write down in a little journal what those are and have that by you. And you can use that as a regular check-in on, are you living your values? So every few days you can use that as a space to say, hey, you know what? What are my values? And how am I living them? And if you're not living them the way that you want to, then maybe you need to adjust your values. But having a place that is very uniquely you, right? So in a self-knowledge space, use that as a space to kind of connect with who you are, where you want to go. And so that's one space. And then the third thing I would suggest is that you find your sacred space. And so that can be a bedroom, right? Often the bedroom is where we spend the most time. It is a place where we are healing the most because we are resting, we're rejuvenating, right? It's also a place where we have our connections, our deepest connections to our partners, right? So you may be able to create a, a sacred, stay true to what it is that you connect with that brings you spiritual fulfillment, that brings you some sense of calm, some sense of connection. So it's a place often tied to love. It's a place often tied to um, uh, our ability to just have that connection with others. So I would suggest you focus on those three areas. The center of the home, create an altar there that grounds you. Your self-knowledge space, create a space there that represents your authentic self, and create a sacred space where you can go to rejuvenate and to recharge in these times ahead, right? And it doesn't have to be your bedroom, but that's just one option.
I think I've done most of that. I have to clean up the center of the condo a tad and
Mm.
then go. But everything is beautifully organized. Yes, I've got my sacred space. Yes, I'm grounded.
Love it.
Yeah, most
Great.
definitely.
Yeah, I think that the more we can do now to again get rid of all the clutter, but then focus on some things that'll help you to stay grounded throughout this year and stay focused on what's important and valuable to you, and have a place that's going to help you to rejuvenate and recharge.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Hmm.
I hate to go back to this, but I'm going to anyway. No, I don't
Sure.
hate to. What's really fun is Luann taught me that my spirit animal is the horse.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh,
So I have in my imagination this beautiful saddle.
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
envision myself giving the carrot hugs and kisses and apples and carrots and then putting the saddle on and then getting on the
Mm.
saddle and galloping towards
Ah.
it, being my authentic self, galloping
Mhm.
towards whatever this year brings, which is going to be
Mhm.
very exciting because I've also had my Akashic records read.
Oh, wow.
I love that. I have someone that is, shout out to Ann Andrews,
Mm.
someone that I go to every year, and she opens my records and she tells me what to look forward to.
Mm.
And then I just kind of not ruminate, but meditate on
Mm.
her
Mhm.
suggestions. And then it all happens. I understand it.
I
It's
love
just
that.
so incredible.
I
So,
love that. And that whole idea, I mean, I'm a huge fan of lessons that we learn from animals, right? So the idea of having spirit animals and totem animals that are really there to teach us and guide us. And I love how they can shift, right? They can be an animal that stays with us for years and years and years. It might be an animal that's just here for a certain period of time. You may have multiple, right? I love the idea of using spirit animals, and you can use that energy like you said, you have the horse in your space. You know, if you have an animal that you are drawn to, so even if it's something that you were drawn to as a kid, right? Or maybe it's something you're seeing, an animal you're seeing a lot of lately, whether it's in real life, whether it's on TV, whether, you hear about it in conversations or music or whatever. Pay attention to those signs too, because I do believe that those spirit animals are always trying to connect with us. And so that because they have so much to teach us. And I love that. I really do. Mm.
back riding lessons when I was a little girl, and I loved it. So,
Mm.
when the spring comes, which
Mm.
is right around the corner, when spring comes and it gets warmer, I'm going to go back to taking some horseback riding lessons.
Oh, that's
I'm
beautiful.
not going to tackle horse, dear one. I'm not strong enough for that. But,
Hmm.
yeah, I love animals. I
Yeah.
adore animals.
Hmm.
Funny little story. There was a spider in the bathroom this morning, just a little one, and I said, "Well, good morning." I said,
Uh-huh.
you have just as much right to be here as I do, and it's really cold outside where I am, so feel free just to go in the corner and take a nap. And then all of a sudden he disappeared and I couldn't find him anywhere.
Well, he listened. He went to go take a nap.
He went to take a nap, but I love animals.
Oh, that's
So this is
beautiful.
so fantastic. Tell
Mm.
everyone, I mean, I'm going to have your website out, no doubt,
Mm.
but you have courses that are available
I
that you
do.
it live and online. Tell us about some of those
I
too.
do. So I have one actually that's next week, starting next week, and it is about modern day ceremony and how we can use modern day ceremony to help us to stay balanced and grounded in these times, right? We know that these times right now can be pretty challenging for many reasons. The point of that is to help people recognize that the ceremonies and kind of rituals that have been used for thousands of years are things that we can tap into today to help us to create our own personalized ceremonies and turn things that we might already have as a ritual into something a little more sacred, a little more present. So that's one. I also have a course that is coming in March, and this is building your best life. It's basically helping you, and this is tied to soul coaching and our empowered potential program. And so, what this is doing is it helps people get a sense for where they are in their life, where they want to be, and the gap that it's going to take to get there. And then how they're guiding them along that roadmap, right? Helping them to develop that roadmap. And so it's a fun, interactive experience, and that's going to be online as well. On the 27th of this month, I actually have a feng shui course locally here for those who might be in the area. I'm in St. Charles. The course is in Batavia. And really, it's going to be about how do you prepare for this energy of the fire horse, right? This is, it's going to be upon us at that point, right? And we'll be 10 days in. And so I want people to be able to be thinking through, now that it's here, what are some things that people are feeling and how can they um, adjust the space in their home to prepare them and to ground them, those sorts of things.
So
So
Bill,
that's
what state are you located in?
sorry, I am in Illinois, so I'm just outside of Chicago.
Okay,
Um,
so everybody that lives in the Chicago area, you could go
yes.
live in person to meet this gentleman. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. So I would be happy to have everyone join. And I have a link, I think, on my Facebook page to that course as well. So I have those. I also do 28-day programs. Those are tied to the soul coaching work that Denise has trained us on. My teacher, Terry Bowen, amazing, amazing man. Um, has trained me on that. And it's a 28-day program that helps us to really step into our authentic selves. And so it's really about using the elements, water, fire, earth, and air, to connect with our mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical aspects in a way that allows us to say, you know what, I'm ready to let go of some of this so that I can better understand who I am and listen to my kind of inner guidance. So, and the thing that I love about all this work that Denise does, is it's not just someone coming to you and saying, hey, this is how it is. It is you actively engaging in the work itself, right? Whether it is doing guided meditations and kind of finding your place in kind of and listening to your soul, whether it is creating vision boards, whether it is creating, spirit sticks, so there's so many different ways in which that these programs are ingrained in us because we really do get physically engaged and involved in these. Sometimes I think of it as kind of reigniting our kindergarten selves, where we were able
Yes,
to bring in the
yes.
crayons and the markers and the all those sorts of things too. So yes. Feel free to check out my website, billschwingle.com, to learn more about the events that I have and the trainings that I have, all the good stuff.
Bill, you are such a gift. You are
Oh,
such
well,
a
thank
gift.
you.
So wonderful to learn, everyone, to learn these um, energy, space clearing methods because if you're feeling stuck in any way, I practically guarantee that you can get. I work with the human energy system, but then when you get a feng shui, space clearing, interior alignment expert, and
Hmm.
you start just to do small things. You do not have to unless you want to. If you want to, go ahead, knock your socks
Hmm.
off. But it doesn't have to be major, major stuff. You don't have to go out and buy a whole new set of furniture for your house or anything like that.
Hmm.
Um, you will be amazed
Mm.
at the shift that you feel when you use some of these practices. One of the things I love is burning sage.
Oh, yes.
I
Hmm.
love burning dried sage to clear
Hmm.
space. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, when I teach my clients how to do that, it's just all the things. And then the townhouse that I bought
Hmm.
several years ago has a red front door.
Oh, I love
I
that.
said,
Yes.
this is it.
Mhm.
Then when
Yes.
we opened the front door, there was a long hallway, and it was really funny because they had some things nailed to the wall. I said, this is blocking energy. So I told my painter, I said, this goes, that goes, this goes, that goes. Just
Mhm.
get rid of all this stuff because it's blocking energy all over the place.
Yes.
I found its way in my own house. That was so cool. But when I
Mm.
saw that red front door,
Oh, yeah.
mine
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
love that. I love that. Yeah, and for those who are wondering why a red front door is a good thing, so in China and in Chinese feng shui and traditional feng shui, red is one a very activating color, and the front door is one that is the mouth of qi, the mouth of energy for your home. So that is the first play energy comes in, and you want to be able to attract that energy. And what better color than to have red on your front door to attract that energy to bring it into your home? Mm.
A landscaper, and he makes beautiful gardens full of
Oh,
color.
love it.
I'll never forget when Luann was teaching about how to bring nature into your life, and I thought, how can I do that? And I got a couple little potted plants on my then apartment on the porch, and now I've got this humongous garden. Okay, I think the chi knows where I live. Okay.
For sure, for sure. Ah,
Bill, thank you so much for your time today. This was absolutely beautiful. And those of you out there listening and watching, please share this with a friend if you think that it would be helpful because there is going to be I'm going to be bringing you a lot of interesting guests
hmm.
because my authentic self
Yes.
is now in the world of energy and how to let go of energy that doesn't serve you and
Hmm.
bring in energy that does serve you. So, with that, I'm going to say thank you, Bill,
I
and
love
thank you
that. I love
for
that. Hmm. And thank you for having me. It's been an honor. Thank you.